I think one of the strangest things in the world is the fact that actually Apple are incredible. I mean it, though. I honestly mean it. Apple are incredible. Like, absolutely incredible. They make fantastic phones, fantastic computers, fantastic tablets, fantastic HomePods, fantastic TVs, fantastic. And they do it because they have this real good vision. But why do I buy Apple products, right? Why do I buy Apple stuff? Is it because they're brilliant, or is it because I have a connection with them that I wouldn't have had if I didn't buy their stuff, right? Apple is a cult. Right, it's a cult. It's a cult of people like me that really kind of feel passionate about the reasons behind why we buy an Apple computer or another device or an iPhone, etc., or something along those sort of lines. A prime example of this is a video that I watched recently. Let me see if I can find it. A video that I watched recently that really kind of, amplified everything about the Apple storytelling experience. Something about it that just made the whole experience. It made me feel like, wow, I'm so glad I own this machine. And it went something like this.
At Apple, design has always been about great ideas. Those ideas then are developed with this obsessive dedication to detail. If we care enough about all the details that make up a product, then in the end, we will design an experience that really feels like there's no other way it could be. And the best example of this is macOS, Big Sur.
Now, before I get all intimate with this next section of this video, which is an amazing thing that they've done, just listen to what it is they've done there. What have they done? Have they talked about any products? Not really. They've talked about the values behind their design ethos and behind what they do and what they achieve and all that kind of stuff. They haven't actually spoken about anything to do with any of the products. And that itself is just an amazing feature of Apple's incredible cult that they've developed over the years. And there's nothing that amplifies that cult any more than this next tiny 5-second segment of this video. And that's it. The chime. It's really incredible. But in 2016, when they brought out the new MacBooks, they removed the chime. They just got rid of it. They just said, that's a bit old-fashioned, isn't it? And what did the Apple community do? What did we do, including myself, when I got my new Mac? What did we all do? We all said, oh, come on, we want the chime. We missed the chime. And that's because it's a vital part of the ecosystem of Apple since the very first iMac that came out. In fact, what am I talking about? Since the very first Macintosh that came out. So it's been really vital to I own a Mac. That chime is I own a Mac, right? And it just kind of really amplifies the entire experience. And why do they bring it back? Because they knew that everybody liked it. So now when I turn my computer on, it boots up with a chime. And it just makes me smile every time it does it because I'm so engrossed in the cult of Mac.
Our goal was to bring even more clarity to the design of the software while retaining the Mac's powerful capability and ease of use. We started with the simplest of elements, from the shape of a corner radius to refinements in buttons and controls. And we brought our unified language of symbols to the Mac, making them more consistent and easier to recognize. Depth, shading, and translucency are used to create hierarchy. These new materials are rich and they're vibrant.
I mean, you wouldn't know this is an advertisement for some software for a computer, would you? The way it's done, the sort of emotive storytelling behind it and everything, it does not feel like it's an advertisement for some computing software. It feels like it's something for, some sort of charity mission or cause or something, but it's for Mac OS. It's for software, right? And the way they present everything on the screen and the way everything kind of just comes together, it's a masterpiece in video marketing. And it's something that I'm so passionate about. There's a reason why Apple is the biggest company and brand in the world. And it's because they've mastered the way of communication, but through, different things like values and thoughts and other things, not products. They don't talk about features. They haven't mentioned one feature of the specific stuff in the sort of opening scenes. They're getting into some features of the operating system as it comes through, but it's not the premise of the entire video. It's designed to give you a feeling, especially if you're a Mac user, that everything is kind of designed specifically for your needs.
They bridge light and dark. We've reduced visual complexity to keep the focus on users' content. Buttons and controls appear when you need them, and they recede when you don't. There's a new way to access system-level controls and a unified space for notifications and widgets. We've also created a new suite of sounds that are familiar to the Mac.
Sounds Familiar to the Mac. It's all about the cult. It's all about years of experience. It's all about everything they've done over the last 20 years in the Mac space. It's everything kind of brought together. It's incredible.
But remastered and more refined.
And anyone that has a Mac and knows those sounds gets this really nice sort of, oh, that's really nice that they've edited that slightly, right? They get that real sort of amazing feeling about it. It's just a masterpiece.
We wanted consistency throughout the ecosystem, so users can move fluidly between their Apple devices. But we also love that Mac icons have a deep history and a distinct.
And that's the other thing. On the back of that icon is the stamp from the original Mail icon from the previous versions of Mac OS. Everything has been thought of, right? This is not a piece of software. This is a tool that lots of people, including myself, have used for the last 10 years in the creative space. And they're really exemplifying the fact that you are part of that system. You are involved in the entire ecosystem of their brand and product and everything. And it really is quite outstanding. If any company wants to look at marketing, right, wants to look at things and think, how do I market my products and all that kind of stuff, they should think about the way that Apple do it, right? The nice way that Apple present themselves, the fact that it's based on beliefs, values, and it has this sort of underlying drive that makes you as a person seek to be a member of that club that is Mac OS. It's incredible.
Feel. So we retain many of the highly crafted details and the playful elements that make Mac icons unique. This OS reflects an important history. It's familiar, but it's also entirely new.
And I don't know who does copywriting at Apple, right? But just things like that are just incredible. It's familiar, but it's entirely new. It's genius, right? It's absolute genius.
In every detail. We love the Mac. It's the tool we use to make all the products that we put out into the world. And Mac OS Big Sur is where it starts.
And at the end, in typical Apple style, the nice logo and all that kind of stuff that pops up perfectly in time with the music, it is outstanding. And like I said, when you actually think about it, it's more than a video for software. It's something entirely different. It's something that specifically you can relate to, especially if you're part of that club. Now, why is that important for marketing people? Why is it important to communicate with people on this level? Well, it's because you're keeping your customers, right? You're getting them under your thumb and you're keeping them because you're able to do these sort of things to make them want to stay a part of your system. I won't buy a PC. I'll only buy a Mac because I'm so engrossed in their specific marketing stuff. So for anybody that's thinking about doing something similar with their own business, they should think about how Apple has done it over the past 20 years. So there you go. A homage to Apple's marketing style. Just a bit of fun, but it is incredible. And it's a real nice way of communicating a product or a service. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Oh, dear.